If you're not familiar with the format, you can go back and view the previous one, but it's basically we split our income into 5 streams, which is digital NFT, and we have the goal of £3,000 a month for that. YouTube, we have the aspirational goal of £1,000 a month. Then selling prints, £1,000 a month is the goal. Pen plots, our aim is £800 a month. And then selling FX text articles, our aim is around £200 a month. So those are the goals where we're aiming towards. So what actually happened, I made around £500 from secondary sales of NFTs on FX Hash. I sold absolutely no prints and no plots whatsoever. On YouTube I made, let me check my notes, £2.65, and that I don't get that yet. It has to go over like $10 before I get that. And then finally FX text, I actually made £17.60 on FX text for a full amount of £520.25 income, which is great. If we look at expenses, the main expenses were £357 on prints, which I used for a YouTube video. My online shop costs me around £34 a month, and I pay my own wages of £2,400 a month. So my outgoings are £2,791, giving us a grand profit of minus £2,270.75 for last month. And that is the short version. If you want to know more about my thoughts and some of the context behind that, stick around for the long version that should be here. Whew. We can be a bit more chill now that we've been through the short version. I know some people just want the numbers. So hey, we can get to know each other on the long version. Last month was kind of tricky because I had 2 things right in the middle of it. I had a trip to Bournemouth that I had to do, and I had a video to make for Art Blocks. Hi, this is Behind the Code from Art Blocks. I am Dan Catt, and I'm here to talk about 80s pop. Even though each of those weren't much time in themselves, I was thinking about them for quite a lot, and I was preparing for them quite a lot, and they're right in the middle of the month, and it was really awkward because it meant there's a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to get done that I didn't quite get round to, but I knew that going into the month. When all that was over, that's the first time basically for the whole year that I've not had anything to do for anybody else, and that was sort of the last week in November, but that's pretty late to start being able to do stuff. Anyway, so what happened last month? The main income was NFTs. If I drag you over here, I'll show you a little bit about that. It was FX Hash's first birthday. Let me grab the camera. Right, I'll take you over here. So one of the projects was based on hexagons, which I'll show you here. Here are some prints. If I try not to knock the pen plotter. So they were basically this design here and this one here. That's what I had in mind when I was thinking about FX Hash's first birthday. That was the projects I was going to do. But when I was in Bournemouth on one of the evenings, I had a headache. I couldn't really do anything, so I just sat and did coding. And I took this project here, which is an upcoming project. I'm only part of the way through it for FX Hash, and I'm wanting to use FX params for that. But anyway, this design here is based in part on an album cover designed by the Designers Republic. I'll put one up on the right. That album cover is sort of taking a building in 3 dimensions and flattening it down to 2 dimensions, and that building is called Falling Water. And I wanted to do something similar, but my own take on that, but have it floating and light. And we'll go outside now and I'll show you. Come with me. So this over here is our local beautiful car park, which most people really dislike the design of. I'll get closer, hold on. So you can see the building is dealing with like structure, texture and light. They have this, you have the cement texture they're trying to break up, the lightness, but also stopping people or cars from coming out. So they've actually put some thought into it. And then sometimes I'll just come up here to think, because you're all high up and you've got the view over Shrewsbury behind here. But then there's also these bits here I love, where they've tried to soften it down with this stone compared to the sharp edges of this structure here, which again is designed to be strong, but also to let the light in. And I'll often come up here and and just take photos of these lines. All right, back. That's a bit bright. Let me just... That's a bit dark. I'm going to have to go sit somewhere else. That's too bright. I'll be back in a second. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So where was I? Oh, right. Basically, last month was being right in the middle of two ends of a project. So I had started this project here, which is about these sort of structure and floating buildings and the like. And I decided to get these prints made during my work in progress. So this isn't the final thing, but I was liking these designs so much that I decided, instead of just taking snapshots of the actual images, I would get them printed up as well. But those haven't got into the shop yet, so that's an old part of it that isn't in the shop yet. And then the birthday drop for FX Hash fell right in the middle, and that was great. That earned over £700 for the processing org. But the way I did it worked with lots of tiny little circles. So if I try to pen plot it, which ultimately I wanted to do, it would take 17 hours and kill the servo. So since then, I've adjusted the code to work with lines, which gives us, more of this type of here, which is closer to the car park building I just showed to you, and they plot a lot quicker. So that's an update to that project. They'll probably be coming out next month. So I have old stuff, the work in progress, and I have stuff for next month, but nothing really fell in October. Anyway, that's a very long way of saying I did all right for NFTs, but that wasn't my main focus. In fact, just the things in the middle of the month is my main focus, and lots of admin. Anyway, let's move on to consulting my notes again. YouTube. We talked in the previous video about different types of content. So right at the end of September, we had the what is generative art. And then in this month, I've managed to get how to print your generative art. And those are the evergreeny type content. So I'm not expecting a huge people to rush to view the how do I print my generative art, but it kind of answers the question that continuously pops up in Discords and on Twitter and places like that. So that's a steady sort of viewership, I think. The print world. I said last month I probably wouldn't update the shop, and that's not strictly true. I have updated the shop, and it's a pain in the ass. There's a lot to love about Shopify, but its site structure is it kind of goes homepage, and then you have categories, and then actual products. And I kind of want to have this intermediate page where I go homepage, NFT prints, and then go Series 1 80s pop, 70s pop, Series 2 70s pop. But I've battled for a few mornings with Shopify to try to get that structure, and you can't do it. So I've just slapped all that onto the homepage just so I can move on, because I have limited time. I've only got so many mornings to get things done, and I chewed up about 3 of them trying to bend Shopify to my will. And the other one is, in theory, you can connect Shopify to YouTube. So down below this video, if you're in the right country like America, there's like a strip of items from my shop down there you can buy, and everything is like, connecting Google to Shopify is easy, you just add this thing. It's at this point in the edit that I went on about a 20 to 30 minute rant about how hard it is to connect Shopify to Google to YouTube, but I thought I'd just cut all of that out and give you the short version, which is it's completely fun. Anyway, I'm shooting this video quick. Normally I script them, so it's a little bit rambling all over the place, but I can't make every video really good. Some of them have to be a bit all over the place if I'm going to get this done in the time. This is one of those all over the place videos. It's just the way it is. I'm now going to sit down and edit you and try to get rid of all the ums and the ers. Let's see if I can fix a whole bunch in the edit. I will see you in the next more professional video. Bye. Let's go.